Once again, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time and making the effort to show your support of Madison and Kent by being here tonight. I am honored to be Kent's father. I can remember Can everybody hear? Okay. I can remember the day that Kent was born and thinking to myself, how is it that I deserve not one but two beautiful, healthy sons in Derek and now Kent? A question I still ask myself today. Donna and I have truly been blessed to have a front row seat of Kent's life. Kent, we have nurtured and cared for you, and yet have tried to give you space to grow and develop, encouraging responsibility on your part all along the way. We would not claim to be perfect parents, far from it, but we have done the best we know how. In return, we have seen you develop your love of sports, your keen competitive spirit, and your ability to think spatially, your self-control, your social skills, and your compassion for others. Mom and I feel very fortunate to be your parents, and I am honored to be your friend and to be somebody that you have felt compelled to ask for advice. There are many stories I could tell everyone here, but there are a couple that really stand out for me. One is when Kent was playing football for Bishop Kelly. He was playing football for Bishop Kelly his freshman and sophomore years. Between his sophomore and junior year, the school decided they would carry a new curriculum, and they offered that to Kent, and it was a chance to study engineering. As it was a new program, it was offered only in the afternoon. Most of the classes were to be held off campus at a technical college, and thus would conflict with football practice being right after school. Additionally, he would miss a half a day of school for the last 2 years of his high school, which would be pretty tough for a social person such as Kent. Kent came home and discussed this dilemma with me, and that he told me that he would need to let the school know within the week of what his decision was. I was a sounding board for Kent, but in no way tried to influence him one way or another. This was a decision he would have to make himself. And after a few days, Kent told me that he had decided that he was going to forego football and that he was going to take the engineering classes. His reasoning was that the football would be a passing activity and the engineering classes would be something that he could use his whole life. He did have a great coach that allowed him to go ahead, and even though he missed a lot of practice, to compete for a position on the football team, and was able to start for Bishop Kelly and do the engineering both. But to me, his decision meant that he was thinking about his future and planning for his future at a very young age. One weekend, Derek and I were going on a camp out, and Kent was too young to go, so Donna and Kent decided that they would drive around all of the McDonald's within 25-mile radius of Tulsa to try to collect a complete set of Beanie Babies. McDonald's wouldn't sell you a Beanie Baby Happy Meal with just the Beanie Baby. You had to get the hamburger and the fries with it. No choice. So before long, their van was a haven of hamburger and fries, more than they could eat. And so, not wanting to waste the food, Donna decided, well, maybe I should risk going ahead and taking Kent downtown, looking for some homeless people that could use the food. So that's what they did. And Donna instructed Kent on how to place the food a certain distance from the person. Not to look in their eye, not to look at them, just respect their dignity, and turn around and come straight back to the van. So does as he's told. He gets out there, puts the food down, certain distance from the person, turns around and comes back, but he doesn't get all the way back, and it just kind of is eating at him. And so finally he turns around and looks back, and the homeless man has gone over and is about to pick up the food, and he's looking up at Kent, and Kent's looking at him, and he gives a humble wave to Kent. And that just really struck a chord in Kent's heart. And from that point forward, Kent just had a mission for the homeless. And I think all the years of his high school, pretty much, off and on, he would often get himself up Sunday mornings at 5 o'clock, like Donna was telling the story there, and would go downtown and would cook and serve the hungry in Tulsa. It was early on that we knew that God had placed in Kent a compassionate heart. Kent, I think the skills and characters you have displayed in these examples, as well as the many other attributes that you possess, will make you a successful husband. Your concern and rational thinking will help you and your mate to chart a stable course into the future. Your commitment, loyalty, and calmness will help you to lead your family through tough times. Your playfulness and good sense of humor will allow your family to have fun all along the way. In early December last year, Kent texted me, "We need to have a father-son talk, ASAP, this afternoon if at all possible." Of course, I said yes, and then I proceeded to wonder all day what it was we were going to talk about. When he arrived at my office, he informed me that he was going to ask Madison to marry him, and what did I think? And so I tried to not give my opinion, but Kent will wear you down with his persistence, and I finally caved. Madison, I told him, in my opinion, he could search the world over and never find a better match than you. Madison, you are smart, trustworthy, and frugal. You have a lot of common sense and a great sense of humor. You are a loving, caring, and loyal woman with a lot of inner strength and peaceful confidence. You're truly a beautiful woman inside and out, and Donna and I feel so lucky that you're going to marry our son, Kent. And even though you are your own person and chiefly responsible for your own development, I would be amiss not to credit your family, Angela, Russell, and Mason, for their part in the formation of your abilities, your moral values, and your basic character. Kent, as Aunt Lily would often say, you can pick your friends, but you don't get to pick your family. And we are so lucky to have the family that we do. I think this is so true about both of these families. As Gigi would say, you both come from good stock. As parents, we do our best to guide and facilitate our children's development, but we really have no control, and we really shouldn't. It's all you guys. You two have honored your families through the choices you have made so far, the friends that you have selected, and now with who each of you have chosen to be their lifelong partner. You have done very well. Lily, Granddad, Grandpa Jack, and the many others that have preceded us would be so proud of you, just as we are. I'm sure you guys wonder what married life is going to be like. That's like the warning system. I don't know. We didn't plan that, I promise. You may have a preconceived... Can you guys hear me still? Okay. You may have a preconceived idea of what marriage is. I don't really think that anybody can anticipate their experience until they have embraced the reality of it. And what one person's idea of marriage is will be totally different than somebody else's. But I can probably shed a little bit of light on it. As I've experienced an incredible married life with Donna, I can tell you there are a great many perks and rewards to marriage. I cannot imagine a life without the wonderful experiences, someone with which to share the tough times as well as the prosperous times. And when the world is beating you down and giving you a hard time, somebody to be there to support you and help you navigate through the rough waters and onto the joyous times again. I think of marriage as a continuing education, much like life in general. A successful marriage is not a gift. It is hard work and endurance. You will make mistakes along the way. You will not be perfect. You will need to try to learn from your mistakes and forgive your partner. Face the difficult challenges together, and your bond will grow ever stronger. People don't drift together, only apart. So if you're to be close, it will need to be intentional. Value each other. Don't take each other for granted. Tell your spouse you love them. Tell her she's pretty. Tell him he's handsome. Surprise each other. Show your appreciation. Hold hands. Have fun and laugh together. No matter how busy you are, make time for yourselves. Start traditions. Pick an important date that only you two celebrate. You can't remember that date? Forget it a couple times. You'll have no trouble after that. You should plan together, make each other promises to keep, dream together, and believe in tomorrow. The only unsolicited economic advice I will give is to always live well below your means. In real estate, the rule is location, location, location. In marriage, the rule is communication, communication, communication. Don't sweat the small stuff. Save the big discussions for the big issues. You will undoubtedly have some arguments. Make sure that you don't go to bed angry if at all possible, and don't let your last word of one argument be the first word of the next argument. I've talked a lot about togetherness, but equally important is the time that each of you need for yourselves. You will still need personal time for hobbies, activities, or going out with friends. I ran across an article in the Bottom Line investment newsletter 15 or 20 years ago that termed this cave time. From that point on, when Donna or I need time alone or to be by ourselves, we say we need to have some cave time. You must remember that your partner fell in love with you while you had these activities going on. That is part of who you are. You should be yourself, and you can't be yourself if you completely change. Besides these additional activities, we'll provide some conversational topics. When Mr. and Mrs. Henry Ford celebrated their golden anniversary, a reporter asked Henry, "To what do you attribute your 50 years of successful married life?" He replied, "The formula is the same formula I have always used in making cars. Just stick to one model." You don't go into marriage hoping it will work. You go into marriage knowing it will work because you both have carefully picked your partner, you love your partner, and you're loyal to your partner. And you do whatever you can to make that partnership work. Marriage is falling in love over and over again with the same person. You know you have a great marriage when you're a better person with the support of your spouse than you are on your own. I believe you are both great individuals, and I think you're an awesome couple. Thank you, Madison and Kent, for sharing your love with us and allowing us to celebrate with you in your most special time. We all love you dearly. Family and friends, I need a glass. Let's raise our glasses and toast to Madison and Kent, a lifetime of love and happiness.
Well, honey, I love you too. And I told the table, I said, my heart still goes pitter-patter when you're not here, and when I see you again, I'm always happy to jump in your arms, and that's really quite a sight these days. Anyway, Derek, would you please join us?
Kent and Madison, I just want to congratulate you, first of all, on your engagement, your commitment to one another. Without a doubt, I know that you guys are going to do well together. Your bond's just going to become stronger as the years go on and as you experience the good times, the low times. They're all good. You know, if you're there with one another, you know, that's all you can ask for. And I'm excited, Madison, that you're, good match for my brother, and vice versa. You guys are a great pair, and I just want to wish you guys well on your marriage tomorrow and the next chapter in your lives. So, toast to that.
It's not too exciting. Let's not get excited. Man, it's getting emotional in here, y'all. It's making me cry. That video was awesome. I am Madison's cousin, and obviously I've known her for my entire life. Not a day has gone by where I didn't know Madison, and she's been my soulmate since I was born. She's the bestest friend anyone could ever ask for. She's the greatest human being I've ever known, and she's my role model. She's been my hero since day one. I wrote this in her little book, but I used to copy literally every one of her outfits. There was this one time on vacation where she and my Uncle Russell, Madison was like, "Dad, watch. I'm going to go put a hat on," and then Haley was going to go put a hat on. So she would go and change her entire outfit, and then I would change it to the exact same thing, because that's just how cool she is. But I've just been so happy to see them together, honestly. And I don't think I really saw them together until probably my 21st birthday. I think it was Mason and Eden, and Hayden couldn't be there. I think it was a track meet or something. It would have been cool if you could come, but it's fine. But we were all together and hanging out, and I remember looking at Madison and Kent and being like, dang, like, they're so happy. I think Madison was sitting on his lap, and he was tickling her. It seems like that's a common thing that happens. But but I'm like looking at him, and I'm single, so if you want my number, we'll talk after this speech. No, but I was like, gosh, I want to love like that. Like, and me and Donna were talking about this earlier. It's just everywhere we've gone, it's someone been saying it's full of love, it's full of life. This is the most beautiful thing, and it really is. Y'all make such a beautiful couple, and I'm just happy to see you happy, Madison. She's a playa, and this is the first guy that's stuck. No, I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. She's not a player at all. She has her planner and likes tea and stuff. But yeah, I'm happy for y'all. It's going to be a fun journey. And also, they have a huge king-size bed, so all of us can sleep in there. Hope you guys don't mind. I know I'm planning on snuggling up in the middle. I know we've talked about that before, and you're good with that, right? Still good? Okay. But anyways, I love you, Madison. You're my soulmate, my mother at times, and the reason why I can be crazy and weird, because I know you're going to be there. Love y'all.
Sister, I wish for you all the grace of God upon you always and in your heart. I was blessed with a wonderful marriage to my husband, John. I wish the same thing for you all. Mad Dog, I love you so much, and I love you always. My godson, Kent, God rest in your hearts, and let him be the guide of your marriage. That's my words of advice.
How sweet.
Yeah, I was Madison's youth pastor when she was, 8th grade is when I first met Madison, maybe even 7th grade. And I'll say one thing about Madison, like I was thinking about this today, is Madison's a servant. Like I think you can just see that in her life, like from 7th grade to 12th grade as I was her youth pastor. I mean, Madison's someone you can trust, someone that's going to serve. And Kent, you've lucked out, man. I mean, she's going to be a great wife. I mean, you can just tell from early on in her life. And so, Madison, you're awesome. And so it's been good to see you grow up and see how the Lord has formed you and made you, just like Psalm 139 says, to support Kent and for Kent for you to lead Madison. That's a really, really big challenge. That's really, really difficult. And the Lord will guide your heart. So treat her well. And Madison, serve your husband well, and it'll be great. Thanks for letting me come.
Don't be afraid. I know I can't be trusted with a mic.
Okay, well, this Selmeyer family, they're not very close, if you haven't figured that out. And they don't get together very often. And when they do, they don't really have a lot of fun. I want to apologize to you and your lovely family for anything we ever did when you were at the lake that was embarrassing to you in any way. But you survived. And Gina and I both remember the very first time we heard about you, the way Kent spoke about you, we instantly knew. He was in the car with us. I don't remember where we were, and he's talking about this girl that he'd met, and he'd been dating you for a few months, and he keeps that kind of stuff very quiet because he knows once he elevates it, we're all like, okay, really, tell us everything about her. And so, yeah, we're kind of quiet and listening, and we got out of the car, we got to where we were going, and I turned to her and I said, watch this one. This is the one. And she was like, no. I said, no, really, I know this. And sure enough, when we met you, you came to the lake for a weekend. And just remember.
Church, Hard Rock.
Oh, yeah, the Hard Rock. But just remember, if you do remember, you can't remind us. And if we don't remember, it didn't happen. Okay? So you came to the lake for the weekend. We had a great time. And at the end, I think we pulled Kent aside. And do you remember that conversation? And we told him, she is precious. She's lovely. She's wonderful. What a nice girl. And you know what?
She can light fireworks on the run.
And you know, you both deserve each other. And it's evident as we've gotten to know your family, Madison, and of course we know Kent's family. And you guys were raised right. And you were raised for each other. And you spent your whole life to get to this point. And the life that you have ahead of you is so much better than you could ever imagine. Every single person in this room is here for you guys tonight. And we are all sending you all of our best wishes for love and a beautiful marriage with lots of kids.
I like Madison's organizational abilities too, because I like to organize as well. I noticed that right away. I feel like I need to say something about my daughter Donita, because, and it's been touched on tonight, she did often say that we don't get to choose our parents. Some people are lucky and some people are not so lucky. And she often started things that she said in that way. And I know that she is smiling down on you and is very happy with the decisions that you two have made. And I have a toast tonight, but I'm going to read most of it because this toast is old and it's not original at all. So first, I'd like to read an old proverb. May you have enough happiness to keep you sweet, enough trials to keep you strong, enough sorrow to keep you human, enough hope to keep you happy, enough failure to keep you humble, enough success to keep you eager, enough friends to give you comfort, enough faith and courage in yourself, your business, and your country to banish depression, enough wealth to meet your needs, enough determination to make each day a better day than it was yesterday. You do come from a long line of long marriages. My mother and my dad were married 64 years. My husband and I were just short of 50 years when God took him home. So you do have a strong background in your families. And the second thing I'd like to say from an old book, but one that has all of the answers that we need. And what I would like to say from the chapter of Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all of your heart, as if you were working for the Lord and not for man. And the other thing is Psalms 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice and be glad in it. So I ask that God richly bless your marriage and your many years ahead as you start new traditions. And I know you're going to have a great life. So, to Kent and Madison.
I had the pleasure and blessing of being Kent's second grade teacher. He was still shorter than me back then. And then you were a junior in high school when you were confirmed, and I was his sponsor for confirmation. And picture this, we have to walk up to the priest at the altar, and I had Kent this tall, me this tall, and I had to put my hand on his shoulder at the altar in front of the priest, and I was reaching up to him, and that was my pleasure. And Kent has always been very special to me, and he's always been very polite and respectful young man. And Madison, just in the short time I've known you, you are a lovely young lady. I'm so happy for both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, come on up. Come on up. Okay, here you go, Ava.
I'm so glad my cousin finally found love, and I'm happy I get to be in a wedding, and I'm so happy about that.
Well, Kent and Madison, we're just so happy for you guys, and we feel so blessed to be part of the wedding and everything. The girls have been so excited, I was telling Donna, but I know you will get lots of wedding advice, marriage advice, but I can tell you one thing that I learned, and I feel like it was the best advice about marriage, and it's happy wife, happy life. so.
And it says that in Rio too.
But to Kent and Madison, happy wife, happy life.
Did you want to say something else? Okay. Yes, Hannah. Hannah's one of the bridesmaids and a cousin.
Hi, I just wanted to tell a story that I remember from Maddie. It's one of my favorite memories of her. And it was when I was in 3rd grade, and I had to do Flat Stanley. And my first idea was to send him to Colorado, where Aunt Rochelle and Haley and Hayden and Uncle Doug used to live. But he never came back. So, so Maddie was like, let's just print an outline off the internet and, decorate it. And then we'll do, a staycation instead of a vacation. And so Nana and me and Maddie got in the car and we drove all over Fort Worth and Dallas taking pictures of Flat Stanley on a Longhorn. And we found a museum ticket. We never actually went to the museum, but we found it on the ground. And but it was really, really fun. And that was the best school project I've ever done. So, yeah.
Next, yes, sir. Joey Moppert is a friend of Kent's from TU. We love Joey.
Hello, everyone. Just very brief, I promise. The definition of a true friend is Kent. It's someone who is there when you need them. It's someone who makes you want to be a better person. All I want to say is that every time I met Kent when he transferred to TU and he joined our fraternity, every time I've ever hung out with him, by the time that I have left, I have wanted to become a better person, whether it is to go to graduate school or to make more money than him or in any way, shape, or form. I've always left after hanging out with him wanting to be a better human being. And that is the definition of what a great friend is. And I have no other friends like that except Kent. Kent has been my rock, has been the perfect person for me to go to when I have a problem. He is an amazing person. Madison, you are so, so lucky to find him and to have him. And I remember the first time you came to our fraternity house, and I didn't know if you would be able to handle it. And you handle it so beautifully, and you were so accepting of all of us crazy people that I knew from then on, no matter what happened, you guys would end up together. So I don't have a glass, but to Kent and Madison and the beautiful marriage you guys have, and to the many, many, many years you guys have been going forward. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Mr. Curtis Roddy. I only knew Curtis as Roddy. And the first time I really met him and face to face, he's a friend from Kent from Mines. And I said, "Where's Roddy?" He goes, "Mom, he's standing right here." And I said, "Curtis?" He goes, "Curtis Roddy." Because, you know, in football, they call each other by their last name. But Curtis is still Roddy at our house. Anyway, here you go.
I'm Roddy. I'm really terrible at toasts and speeches, but I feel compelled to give a toast for Kent. He was the best man in my wedding. Kent is, I'm not a very trusting person, but Kent is probably one of the few persons my age that I trust. Within a couple of months of meeting Kent, I felt that I could trust Kent with pretty much anything. We were shooting partners at Mines. My decision to leave Mines and go to Oklahoma State and pursue geology there was vastly influenced by Kent. So Kent, I love you. And Madison, you're one of the most humble women I've ever met. Very trustworthy woman. We went to Faith together. Didn't know you that well, but Ruth only had the best things to say about you. And I remember Lily asking me. We were at, I think I was at Mimi's house for a party. I can't remember the party. I remember Kurt got a scholarship that day. But Thanksgiving, okay, I was at the Weinkauf for things. I've been to a lot of Weinkauf parties. But I remember Lily came up to us and asked us if we had any friends for Kent to look into, and Ruth immediately said, Madison. And from then we had you saw that in the video, the trials. And I remember after us pushing the car down the garage, Madison actually, it was really Madison's initiative, but Madison was the one that she actually scoured the streets of downtown Fort Worth looking for car batteries at 2 in the morning. she actually came back with some, so I don't know how you find those, but I remember we got down to the bottom of the garage, and I said, Kent, I'm sorry. Like, this has got to be terrible. And Ruth told me that Madison wanted to hang out more, and I shocked. And 2 weeks later, Kent started talking to me about what marriage was like, and he started talking about marrying Madison and how much he loved her and was just enthused by her. I don't know if that's the right adjective, but I guess that's it. So, to Kent and Madison, I did bring glass, Joey, and to a long-lasting marriage. Love you guys.
Hi. I'm Madison's Aunt Donna, Russell's sister. And I know where you came from. We've heard lots of great things about your parents, your family. Mine and Russell's father is not here. He passed away it's been 20 years now. But our mother's here, and he would be so proud of you, Madison. He sure would. And Kent, I'm so glad to get to learn more and more about you and your family, and everybody is so precious. I'm so glad that you take such great advice from your parents, that you seek their counsel and advice. And I know Madison's always done the same. And that you can always trust their advice to be there also when you need them. So I wish you all the best. Loved every moment spent with all our wonderful family times. And I just wanted to give you our blessing as well. Thank you.
This is Brian Harden, Amy's husband, it's cousin. Here you go.
Okay, Madison, we've heard about Kent. We've heard about everybody else. This is one Texan to another. You're going to an Okie, yes. And I remember when you had hair and it was not the same color as mine, okay? Madison, I married a beautiful woman, 20 years, right over there. She's an Okie. I fell in love with her the minute I saw her. Same thing with y'all. All I can say is, Mom, Dad, it's a great family. I felt funny when I crossed the Red River. I'm a Texan. Remember, you're always a Texan. Okay? Oklahoma, they're good. If I couldn't live in Texas after meeting this family and being with this family for 20 years, I'd have to move to Oklahoma. Okay? Guys, what it was said earlier, and I'm not going to mention any names, happy wife, Kent, happy life. Keep that in mind. So, congratulations. Looking forward to tomorrow. Remember, take care of the missus. She's number one. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
We feel the same way about Texas. Again, thank you very much for coming. The party is going to continue tonight, in case you just didn't know that. And we're going to have a wonderful time tomorrow. And gosh, God is abundant, isn't He? So, Kent and Madison, love you.
Yeah. Madison and I wanted to say thank you for everyone being here. It means a lot to have such loving and caring family and friends that are here to support us. We'd also like to thank my parents for tonight and Madison's parents for tomorrow. You guys have truly been a blessing in shaping Madison and I, and we couldn't have asked for better parents. And we love you guys. And Madison has going to tell you a little bit about your vanilla in front of you.
On the table is homemade vanilla extract that Kent and I made for each one of y'all. We made it for Christmas one year, and Donna said, we have to make this for the rehearsal dinner to give to everybody. So that is your treat to take home with you tonight. And thank you all so much for coming, and we can't wait for tomorrow.
mingle and stay for as long as you like, and we'll see everybody at the wedding. And I want to thank Angela and Russell for welcoming all of us to Texas. This has been wonderful. We cannot wait. We feel the love. We love this family. We are not joking around about that. We love this family, and we're just delighted. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good evening. Be safe driving home.